Hello, this is a video that just from the top I'm not going to be editing, so it's going to be one straight clip. So if you're looking for the usual short, snippy comedy edits, apologies. It's not going to be this video because I just want to keep this kind of raw and just let it all out, because this is going to be a bit of an agony rant, if that's a thing. Punderful, pun real, let's keep it. This is basically, I'm talking about this because it came up this week on the podcast that I do, The Substantial Meal with Martin Ngolo and Dermot Ward, who you'll know from the Try channel. Two wonderful human beings and friends of mine, and we have so much fun on that comedy podcast. But this week it got a little, I may have gotten a little deep, because we were talking about social media, and basically I'll just get into it. But what brought all this on is that a couple of weeks ago I got an email from a brand which I instantly already am reluctant to open, because I don't really do anything with brands. A lot of the time, I very rarely, I don't think I really ever have on my own. In my old job, I would have had to a lot, but on my own, no. And their message was along the lines of, we love your content, we love your vibes, we love what you're about. And then they went on to say, would you like to be a brand ambassador? And we will pay you for referencing and mentioning and being a brand ambassador for the keto diet. Now, if you were loving my vibes and my brand and my content, then if you looked at all at my page, you would see that I've had anorexia and bulimia and battled with eating disorders for years, which have affected my mental health horrifically, that I've had inpatient treatment for. So my brand and my vibes that you like, no, what you like is the amount of followers that I have, that you see in my accounts. And that's where this all started from, my rant about social media. Because in my line of work of I started out creating short films when I was 13, 14, and social media was not what it is today. And I loved going to film festivals, and I mean, I had a film represent Ireland then. It won at a youth festival here, and I got to represent Ireland in South Korea at a film festival. I travelled out there, I had a translator. At age 14, it was amazing. I got to go to Greece, a lot of different countries, and it was an incredible experience, and I loved the film. And so when it came to going to college, I wasn't really sure if I would ever get a full-time job in filmmaking, and if I would be freelancing and how that would suit me, but I did it. And this was at a time when social media was becoming more of a thing, and I was using more video editing and Photoshop stuff, and I ended up working for a social media company creating memes and short videos and things like this. So it all just by chance worked out for me quite well at the time. And from that, then I started making more comedy stuff and make my own, doing stand-up and create more comedy videos and sketches. And this is definitely the kind of thing that I like doing. And it became, the place to put it was on social media. And at the time, the internet has, it's progressed at a rate that we have not been able to keep up with. I don't think we've been able to keep up at a steady pace, because when the internet first started in social media accounts, and MySpace was simply just, put up a sentence about anything. That was the height of it on a profile picture. But then the internet just wanted more. Social media accounts want more. They want to know more about you. They want more pictures, videos, how you're feeling. How does that make you feel? They want you to react to stories with, and emojis of underneath Facebook, for example, of it's not just seeing an article. It's how does that make you feel? Are you angry, sad, happy, jokey about that? So social media just keeps wanting more and more of our personality, whereby we're living twice or 3 times, 4 times, depending on how many social media accounts you have, because you live in real time and then you preemptively take content to put out on those social media platforms and relive those experiences again. And the social media has become a very strange place, because for me, with my job, it's a bit of a catch-22 that if I am not on it, I can't progress with my line of work. I can't have an audience. I can't put my content out there. And at the same time, I feel very mentally unwell because of social media and how much it affects me, and how much I feel I have to keep putting stuff out there. And if I don't, I fall behind. And yet I don't know why I'm doing it anymore, because it makes me so unhappy at times, having to be a part of this game and this chase. And brands, all social media apps in general are created in a way that it pits people against each other. It's not by chance that social media accounts have your follower count, your comments, how many you have, how many likes you get, your engagement rates, because Silicon Valley created them in that way specifically so that brands could easily see how much they could make off of you, how much money they could make off of different accounts. And equally, it creates competition between people and individual accounts thinking, oh, they have more followers than me, they're better than me, because we've started to equate our self-worth into our followings on social media. And I've certainly had so much of my self-worth wrapped up in my comedy videos and my social presence, because of those two things were interlinked so much in terms of that's my career, then that's my self-worth. If I don't have my career, then what am I? And I'm still struggling with that. And at least I'm aware of this issue that I have, but it's so tough to try and take those things apart and see that my self-worth should not be linked up entirely to my social media. And yet I can't take a step back from it, because if I don't have a career and I can't build on a career. And I know Bo Burnham in particular speaks so much about this. And ever since he started speaking out on social media years ago, I have just never truly felt so seen or understood so well in terms of how well he articulated things, even in his special Make Happy at the end, where he talks about it being like performer and audience molded into one and like a prison, and that we've just demanded to perform to each other all the time. And it truly feels that way at times, and I struggle so much with figuring out, is it even worth it? Because even in different interviews I've heard him talk about the algorithm is pitted against you, and I feel that way so often because of how much work I put into my videos and editing and creating, writing scripts, editing well shot pieces and putting them together, and the amount of time and effort that goes into creating something like that. And suddenly the platform I want to put it on isn't even relevant anymore. Suddenly no one wants to really see videos on Instagram because everyone's setting up a TikTok account, and they should be about 15 seconds tops if you're putting something on TikTok and you wanted to do well instantly. And I constantly feel like I'm chasing something, and I feel so drained energy-wise. I feel like I've burned out. I've felt that a lot the last few years, but I really just struggle with it at times, of wondering, what am I even pushing towards anymore? Because the things that I see on social media a lot of the time that do well are not the kind of things that I want to be creating. And so I wonder, is there even an audience for the stuff that I'm making anymore? But then I wonder, what would I do without social media? But the problem with it for me is how much it's changed all of us, and in that we're living entirely different. Nothing like this has ever existed before. Another point that Bo Burnham had made was that, with other inventions like travel, we created cars because it made more sense. They were faster than bikes or than walking. So it made sense to do that. But with social media, did we need to streamline our communications? Did we? I get the benefits of, you can easily contact people, easy access, easy reach to people around the world that you may not be able to keep in touch with, but it's certainly affected all of our social skills in a negative way at times, I feel, whereby people now, even stories of people breaking up, whereby they just send a text because they know they don't have to deal face to face with seeing someone being upset as a result of that. That is fucked. That's not okay. And that's such a thing that people won't even answer phone calls anymore. We've all done that because it's easier just to send a text, and it's changed how we communicate, and I fear for where it's going to go next. And it just has always demanded more and more, and I struggle so much with keeping up, and I wonder why half the time do I even try anymore, or is it worth it? Because I don't know. So many brands that reach out to me, and I hate them. I hate so much of the corporate world because they don't see you as a human being. They see you as a fucking dollar bill sign, and all they care about is how many followers you have. And it just doesn't sit well or right with me. And I've turned down, like this week, I turned down an ad for $8,000. And I would love $8,000, but something feels so sick in me to do an ad. And yet I need the money. I left my job thinking I could just create videos, and my Patreon's great, and I adore so many people that I've been blessed with meeting online who have reached out and loved my content and reshared and really benefited me. And that's the other side of it. There are so many benefits to it. I've met so many wonderful people. There's so many wonderful communities out there, but so often it's hard to see that when you see the negatives. It is hard to see that when you get so many negative, abuseful comments, when you get sexualized to extreme levels when you don't ask for that at all. I put out a comedy video and you kind of like, okay, that's not why I put the video out here though. I put the video out here to make jokes, and are you seeing the jokes, or are you just seeing me as an object that you could fuck? I guess that's what I'm asking. Yeah, that's a bit disheartening, but I guess that's nothing new in terms of seeing kind of comments like that. It's just disappointing. But it's a topic that I really don't know where I stand on it at the minute. And even I see it in comics. There's different, like at open mic events, I've seen people whereby they've just lifted memes that they've seen off the internet and just passed them off as their own jokes. And so many of the audience are an older age group that don't know the meme or haven't seen those jokes online and just don't know that this comic is stealing all the material, and none of it's real, none of it's their own writing at all. And I really don't know. I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one to know. Do the pros outweigh the negatives, or is it then in charge and up to the person who's using it? Is it on me because it's like that, take that? Is it the gun that's the person, or the person using it? So is it on me because I'm obviously using it in a way that isn't right for me right now? And that's obviously something that I need to deal with. But I just fear for the way that it affects all of us and our emotions, and that's how it actually then works against us to try and sell us products to make us feel better about the fact that we feel shit because an app has made us feel shit, because we're all competing and comparing ourselves to everyone 24/7 and using filtered images and seeing really fake versions of people, and we want to look like them. So use these apps now to buy products to make us feel better about the fact that these exact same apps are making us feel shit about ourselves. It's a vicious, never-ending, horrible cycle, and I don't know when it stops. I really don't. And I don't know. Like I really don't know. It's always got to me, and it's a weird one for me because I'd have no career without it. And I've had so many wonderful people reach out to me and love my videos, and so many different people that I've looked up to and admired who've reached out and seen my videos, and that's incredible. And I would never have access to that kind of thing if had it not been for social media. But then I see the negative of like even celebrities or people in the public eye who don't have a private life anymore. And then before social media, they already would have struggled, but now they're accessible 24/7. Each of us is accessible 24/7. There's no turning off period. There's no, although they might not see the message till tomorrow, because I've sent it now, I can see that they've read it and they should be seeing it and they should be reading it now. There should be accessible 24/7. And there's no exception anymore really for the fact that someone's offline, because that's such a crazy idea. It's so rare that you hear people being offline, and 9 times out of 10, if someone's saying they're offline, it's because they needed to detox, because they've completely started to go into a negative downward spiral from overuse of social media because it's affected them so negatively. And that's such a common thing now. And I really don't know where I stand anymore on it. And I'm in quite a difficult position because without it, I don't have a career, and I've seen so many benefits from it. I've seen so many negatives then from it. It gets to me in different aspects of it. And like I said, like different ads and stuff they get offered. I got offered another ad last week for $3,000 and the other one for $8,000. So like easily I could have made a lot of money there, and I can't do it. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. There's just something so wrong to me of people not even seeing you as a human being. They just see you as the figure that you have on your social media apps, and it makes me want to not have them at all anymore and live in the real world and be a human being there and live for real life and not live for creating stuff online. But then I know how much I enjoy making comedy sketches, and I love hearing from people that it really cheers them up or that they really enjoy my content. I just worry that the type of content I make anymore isn't even what audiences on social media even want. I mean, you look at artists in general, it's like you can't even just be an artist on your own. A musician, for example, you can't just be a musician anymore. You have to create some kind of viral content from a 15-second or 30-second clip of your song that you can put on TikTok that will really make the song go viral and trend, because that's what you want. You want everyone on TikTok to use your song so that they can get to the top of the chart. So it's not even just, I know that's not the case for everyone, but that's a lot of the time what you see now. So it's not just enough to be a musician anymore. You have to be a musician who's able to do videos and create viral content to put out on social media apps. And that's the same with every industry. Even comedians, I've seen stand-ups during the pandemic who had to try and create whole careers for themselves online, things they've never done before. It's a real tricky one for me. And one of my biggest regrets is that I interviewed Bo Burnham in 2019 for his film 8th Grade, which is amazing if you haven't seen it. And because I was doing it for the social media company I worked at the time, I just asked like generic questions and stuff about the film, which obviously I did want to know, but I wish I could have just asked or told him the things that I wanted to and had the conversation that I wanted about how much I wanted to thank him for all he'd said about social media and how much I could relate to it. Because I feel like before people at that level speak out about things like that, it wasn't really as accepted for me to say, what do you mean you don't really like social media? Or equally that I had started stand-up and I've never enjoyed stand-up. The anxiety of it kills me, and people tell me that I'm good at it and just keep doing it, and they're always shocked when I say I dread it. I get so anxious even when I know I have a gig for the whole week before it and the whole week afterwards, even longer. Just doing post-mortem and everything, because I can't relax about it. It fucking terrifies me, and I feel far more comfortable doing online videos, and I felt far more comfortable doing short films and being in film festivals and watching a whole audience react and feeling like that was a controlled scenario every night, that I knew where the laughs were in that video, whereby so many different factors, environmental factors, come into stand-up set that can affect you entirely and change the course of a gig, change what words you say every single time. And I wanted to say all that, but I couldn't even tell him that I did stand-up or that I did comedy at all, because what I do is not even in the same realm as what he does, and I didn't feel justified at all in saying that. And I wish I could have said all of those things at the time and just thanked him. I mean, I did thank him for writing Art Is Dead, because that song, can't listen to Art Is Dead. Listen to all Post songs, truthfully. I did get to thank him for that. But I regret so much not having the conversation and chat that I really wish I could have. And even drawing parallels between 8th Grade and Zach Stone Wants to Be Famous, of the fact that a pool scene is used in both to kind of replicate or showcase rather that cringe, embarrassing, horrible self-esteem troubles that we all have as teenagers, of worrying and feeling like we're completely different to everyone else and not wanting to be seen by anyone and terrified of going to these events where we're going to be seen in the most revealing way possible in a swimsuit at a party. So there's a lot of things I wish I could have said in that interview, but it made it as well okay for me to say, more so, that that's the first person I'd seen really that talked about stand-up not really fitting them at that time, that they were struggling with panic attacks from it. And that made me feel a lot easier, that I could actually say to people, I actually don't really enjoy stand-up. And I far prefer doing comedy through videos, through writing TV shows or trying to get TV shows commissioned and trying to create sketches online. I feel far more comfortable in control of those scenarios than I do with stand-up. And stand-up, I guess, for me is trying to reach an audience that maybe someone will see you and put you in mind for something for a TV pitch. That's really the main reason why I tried to do it, but I've never enjoyed it. And people have always told me, do it long enough and you'll start to enjoy it. I've never reached that point yet. So I don't know what I'm going to do with stand-up, but especially because if I don't keep doing videos, what am I doing? So that was a lot to unload in this video. I do apologize. I'm so sorry this has not been a fun video, but I guess the big takeaways that I just want to say as well, thank you for all the wonderful support that I do have, and all of you guys who really do mean the world to me, and that like there are people who want to see my stuff, and that it does actually make people happy and people do enjoy my content. And I'm sorry, maybe this will be the one where you all say, nah, that's it, I'm done. Which is very fair. I understand that. I've been Justine here, I've been just mean, just having a little go with social media, which again, I get there's an element of hypocrisy there because I wouldn't have anything without it. I wouldn't. And I don't really put YouTube in the same category as social media accounts, if I'm honest. I would put it as a video streaming platform as opposed to apps like Instagram or Twitter or TikTok, which feel far more direct in that, like, you can I know you can contact people through YouTube accounts, but it feels like there's that DM inbox. It's just far more, and you're expected far more constantly on those apps. You feel like you're 24/7 on them, or should be online on them. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. I don't really know what this video will achieve. I will put up the full segment from the Substantial Meal podcast, and you can go check it out if you do want to hear my rant in full there, where the guys obviously do take the piss out of me and call me a hypocrite, which is always completely fair, and enjoyed us. They do bully me, and I do enjoy it because they're my friends, so it's fine. But they do bully me. Don't bully people unless they're your friends, so then fine. So that's pretty much this video. Thank you for watching. I don't really expect you to comment. Maybe do if you felt similar ways, because I'm not trying to take down social media at the same time, because I know how much it's helped, how much of a positive it's been to people's lives, but there's been so many negatives as well. I mean, it's helped so many small businesses at times. It's helped people stay in touch with family and friends across the globe. Allowed us with this pandemic to be able to working from home. So many incredible, wonderful positives there too. So it's such a tricky one, and I don't know where it's going to go next, and it does scare me. So if you have any thoughts, let me know. And I hope I don't know if you could have enjoyed this video, but I hope you're having a good day. And I hope you keep having a good day. And I hope I see you soon for a new, more funny comedy video on my page here again soon. So there you go. Thanks a million for watching, and talk to you soon. Cheers.